Good afternoon all, Wendell Denner from Street Night coming to you live and direct from Westminster, where a protest with pilots and cabin crew is currently taking place. And as we look around, we can see many fed up airline staff are down here today, and this will be an opportunity for us to have a conversation with them about what they are currently going through. But my name is Wendell, and this is Street Night. Gentlemen, I hope you don't mind speaking with Street Night. Are you pilots? Excellent stuff. So can I start with you first, sir? What's your name?
Robbie Jones.
Robbie, please tell Street Night what the last 15, 16 months has been like for you.
It's been really hard. I think the biggest thing has been the uncertainty. And, I appreciate that every industry has had uncertainty in one way or another. But it feels like, especially now when we're moving into a more of a recovery phase, that aviation and travel and transport is really getting left behind. And we were really optimistic that when the Global Travel Task Force reported back about how to restart international travel, there was going to be a framework and there was going to be a way to start travel safely and responsibly. And then it seemed to just be the rug was taken away straight away, and that's been frustrating as well. But it's been really hard the last 15 months. It's been very difficult. I appreciate for everyone it's been difficult.
And what do you think of this traffic light system, which seems to be so arbitrary?
I think the principle is correct. I mean, infection rates are not the same around the world. Vaccination rates are not the same around the world. But it's very difficult when we're told that we're following the science on this traffic light system, and yet they haven't really published the guidelines or what that actually means. We were told there'd be a green waiting list, and that just didn't appear. So I think the principle is correct, but how it's been applied has been less than ideal, I would say.
How long do you think your industry can survive unless you start flying en masse?
Oh, I'd love to answer that, but I couldn't tell you. But the summer period is where airlines make their monies. We make a loss almost every winter. So another lost summer we'll be adding onto the debt pile that we've already created, and all airlines have created. And if we're not allowed to trade for health reasons, then we need extra support. I think it's as simple as that, really.
Do you think Boris and his government are going to listen to you guys today?
I hope he'll have a little listen. I'm not hugely optimistic, but I feel like what else can you do if you feel strongly about a subject and you want to make your kind of position known? This is what you can do. So this is why I'm here. Just
imagine Boris is watching us having a chat now. Look into the camera and talk to him. What do you want to say to him?
I'd say, hi Boris. Appreciate that the last year and a half has been incredibly difficult, and there has been some unprecedented circumstances all over the place. But now is the time to embrace the progress of the vaccinations. The vaccinations have been fantastic, working far better than we would ever imagined, and uptake has been fantastic. Let's kind of, take advantage of that situation and have a look at international travel and see how it can be restarted.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Thanks a lot, sir.
That's all right.
And would you like Street Night to talk to you, sir? And what's your name?
My name's Jeremy Feldman.
Which airline do you fly for, Jeremy?
EasyJet.
Tell me what the last 15 months has been like for you.
Oh, it's been very stressful. It's been very disruptive. The uncertainty around the whole industry. I've not been working really, and it's been very, very concerning. Very concerning. Yeah, a lot of colleagues of mine, enormous mental anguish that we've all been going through. Really, there's lots of uncertainty over our jobs, over the future of our jobs and the industry as a whole. It's been very stressful.
Just like I said to your colleague, just imagine Boris is watching this transmission. What do you want to say to him?
Boris Johnson, the aviation industry is on its knees. We need support, we need direction, and we need leadership, and we need it now.
Thank you very much, sir. Short and to the point. And you know I'm coming to you next, sir. You're also with EasyJet.
I am also with EasyJet.
I'm going to ask you a question, an easy question to start with. What's it like when you're speeding down that runway and the aircraft is getting ready to fly and it's just going up in the air? What is that feeling? Please explain that to my viewers.
Well, it's exhilarating, and it's the reason that we do this job, and we do it safely and we do it every day. But you never lose that magic of going down the runway. And more than that, it's about the passengers that are behind you, because you're reconnecting families, you're connecting people with their friends, and you're letting people have a break and a holiday, which I think we all need after the last 18 months or so.
And how are you feeling yourself during the last 15 months?
It's been an emotional roller coaster, as I'm sure it has for everybody around the country, but in particular in our industry, it's the government decision making that's the problem. So the government furlough was on, then it was off, then it was finishing, then it was back on again. Most of me and my colleagues have been furloughed for the last 15 months or so, since last March. So it really needs joined up thinking by government that they're just not giving us at the moment.
But why do you think the government isn't joining up their thinking, and it's so arbitrary, these rules and regulations? And
well, I think, not that I want to quote Mr. Cummings, but he was a bit correct when he said that some of the government actions was like a trolley careering down a supermarket aisle, bashing off one side and the other, and they seem to be just following public opinion rather than following what they've said they do, which is follow the data. If they were following the data, then there's 14 countries that should be on the green list right now.
how long can your industry survive unless you start flying?
It depends entirely on which sector of the industry. So, we've had airline failures already. Stobart Air, an Irish airline, was a recent one to fail. Now, the bigger airlines do have financing, but that's all debt. And unlike in places like America and in Europe, the government in this country has chosen not to support airlines directly. They're supporting them indirectly through furlough. They've offered them loans, but really it's just piling up companies with debt for the future, and debt, of course, has to be paid off.
But what's it like for you as a highly trained individual? You've trained for many months and years to be sitting at home on furlough. What's that like?
Frustrating, incredibly frustrating. We all got in this job to fly. It's a passion, not just a vocation, and the sooner we can be back doing that, the better, really.
And what's the most exciting country you've flown to?
Oh, there's quite a few. Gibraltar's always exciting, little runway there, and Innsbruck as well in the winter when you're sort of coming down the valley and there's skiers above you on the slopes. That's also quite impressive.
Excellent. Thank you very much. And I'm now, you're next, sir, yes? And don't be scared of Street Mike. So, how are you feeling being out here today with your crew?
It's nice to see. Nice to see that unity. We all feel the same, just really frustrated and uncertain.
What impact has this had on you and your family? Because I'm assuming you're also furloughed.
Yeah, I'm also furloughed. A huge number of us are part-time now, so we've taken a huge cut. I know there's so many different sectors have had sacrifices, but it seems that we've really taken it hard.
Just like I've said to all of your colleagues, just imagine Boris is watching us talking. What do you want to say to him?
I know that it's very hard. We just need the support, Boris. We need to have a pathway, and a pathway that's followed, not just a month-to-month unknown, and a real process to go through. And I think transparency is something that we'd like to see. I mean, the rest of the EU are flying. Passengers are freely travelling around. We need to have that as well.
How does it make you feel when you see, like, the other transports, they're running fully, and you guys are still on the ground? Well, not all of you, but a lot of you are still grounded. How does that make you feel, the disparity?
Very, very frustrated. It's such a safe industry, and we're out to prove that. Recent statistics show all this as well, and we're willing to abide by all of those practices to make it as safe as possible. So, and we're key to a recovery. The whole industry is so key to the UK really succeeding.
But thank you very much, sir, and I wish you guys all the best. And I'm confident that Boris and his cabinet will be listening to you today. But thank you very much. Thanks a lot, yeah. Yes. Let me give you a card, sir. This guy here makes me laugh. There's a time in the place. So we've just heard from...
We're changing it because it's a bit of hassle. Now change it for us in our industry. We don't want much, we want survival. And it's time now. What do we want? When do we want it? Yeah. Fantastic! Scream! Ah!
So as we can see, there are many protesters down here in front of the Houses of Parliament, and let's find a few more to whom we can talk to about the effect this is having on them. Excuse me, Mum, do you mind speaking to Street Mike?
Yes, I'd love to.
Thank you very much. I feel so privileged. Here's my card.
Thank you very much.
Wendell, so what is it like for you?
Well, I represent a travel industry organisation. We represent over 60 travel companies. Majority of them, 99% of them, are clutching on by their fingernails, and what we have done at the head of the association is try to support them in any way we can, but that's getting increasingly difficult. Government are now asking for their loans to be repaid, and as yet they've still not had any income. And the other thing